Hey y'all, I'm here with my little beautiful little service dog in training, Sage. And I gotta say, she is the most loving little pup ever. Sorry if her little yawn. She's probably a little tired, but she's a great pup. I really enjoy her so much. I enjoy her brother too. They're both really awesome pups. Um, but I mean, the stigma around Chihuahuas isn't really necessarily true for all Chihuahuas. Like, not all Chihuahuas are yappers. Not all Chihuahuas are ankle biters. Um, Sage definitely doesn't do that. She will yap here and there, but I mean, her brother's the biggest yapper of them all. Um, she's usually pretty quiet, chill, laid back, um, all around good pup. And very, very loving pup too. Yeah, I know, Sage. I know. I know. Um, but yeah, she's a really good pup. I love both her and her brother both. Despite the fact that he loves to yap. Um, and he's all around hyperactive. Nothing like nothing like Sage. She is a little bit hyperactive, but for the most part, she is mostly usually just pretty laid back and a chill girl. Um, but I mean, I gotta say, yeah, Chihuahuas are the most alert dogs. Um, I don't know, maybe it's because of their size. They tend to act like they are big dogs. But as they say in Beverly Hills, Chihuahuas are tiny but mighty, huh? Yeah, huh? Is that true? But yeah. Hey Sage, say hi. Say hi, babies. But yeah. Um, Chihuahuas are mostly like laid back dogs. Um, and I do gotta say that um they do love to be by your side all day and every day. Um, it just she's glued to my side basically. Um, Unlike her brother who likes to jump down and whatnot. Yeah, he likes to follow me. So I mean, when I go to the bathroom, I'm never alone. Um, Sage, if I do go, if I do need to take her with me, I will just pick her up and carry her to the bathroom. So she's in there with me. Um, but her brother Poppy is a different story. He will just follow me to the bathroom. He will just follow me to the bathroom. Sage, she follows me everywhere but the bathroom. And it's so adorable. Like it really is adorable. Um, Chihuahuas are the most loyal dogs. I mean, yeah, it depends on how they're raised, but mostly they're usually just one owner dogs. Yeah, you're such a sweetie. You're a sweet girl. But yeah, very very loving, loyal dogs. I'm sure every breed is different and they all show their love in different ways. Chihuahuas just are very cuddly dogs and love to be by your side. Um, and I absolutely adore my Chihuahuas. I always have. Yeah, I've gone wrong with a couple. But some of them, some of them were a bit more aggressive than others. Um, but I think that's how it is with all dogs, to be honest. I literally do think that's how it is with all dogs. Some of them are more aggressive than others. Some of them are more laid back than others. Some of them are more hyperactive than others. It depends on the dog. You can't really go by breed because it really depends on the dog. The breed doesn't really matter. I've seen some laid back labs. I've seen some laid back pits. I've seen some hyperactive pits. I've seen some hyperactive labs. I've seen some hyperactive chihuahuas. Definitely. My Bolt was extremely hyperactive. And he was a purebred chihuahua. Hence the name Bolt. And oh gosh, I'm missing that boy. I'm missing Bolt so bad. But yeah, Bolt was awesome. He was quiet when he needed to be. Actually, he was quiet all the time. He never barked. Not even when there was someone at the door. That was for 3 years, or a couple of years, until we moved in with stayed at my ex's aunt's house, and she had dogs that yapped, and he learned his voice very, very quickly. But when he was in public, he was quiet. He never barked. He never nipped at people's heels. He always did his job like he was supposed to. He was a great Chihuahua. So, honestly, the stigma where all Chihuahuas are yappers, all Chihuahuas are ankle biters, not necessarily true. It all depends on the dog. Just like with pits, pit bulls really are the sweetest dogs. I've had one. He was extremely hyperactive, but he was the most loving pit. I don't have him now because I am extremely terrified of pit bulls. I got him because I was afraid of. I got him off of Craigslist, and I was afraid of him going into the wrong hands. And he was a sweet 4-month-old pit. Loved him dearly, but deathly terrified. But aside from that, he was great. He was very loving. I've even got pictures of us cuddling. Oh, you want to go outside, baby girl? All right, let's get you outside. Let's get your brother outside too. But sorry, I gotta take my dogs out. But anyway, they are the most loving and darling pups. And they absolutely adore human interaction. They absolutely adore human interaction. And I think, and that's what I think most little dogs, some little dogs do. I can't say most because I'm not entirely sure. I've mostly had Chihuahuas. And I've had one, West Highland. I love the West Highland breeds too. They're pretty awesome. Quick learners for the most part. Same with Chihuahuas. Both breeds were in my experience, extremely quick learners. Come on, Poppy. Sorry for all the talking to my dogs. Trying to get them outside to go do their thing. Poppy's had a little bit of a stomach issue or stomach up or upset tummy. But I think he seems to be doing okay. I think it's just a slight stomach bug. But yeah, I mean, they are sweet, sweet, sweet dogs. I can't imagine my life without my Chihuahuas. And I know there are people who will disagree, and I mean, I respect that. I respect that they have their difference in opinions, especially on Chihuahuas. And I mean, honestly, and I respect other people who have a fear of dogs, because I do too. Mostly pit bulls. And I also have a fear of, I now developed a fear of German Shepherds, due to the fact of our old neighbors, whose German Shepherd constantly got out. It's really tough to live with those fears, especially when you love animals so much. But at the same time, it's like, I mean, it happens. No owner is perfect. I mean, I understand that, dogs tend to get out. But when your dog is constantly getting out, it's frustrating. And especially when they show aggression towards your little dogs. The reason it's frustrating when they show aggression towards your little dogs is because, you want your dogs to, like to be around other dogs, not fearful of them. My case also, especially if I'm training my dogs to be service dogs. Like, I had Sky. She was the best dog. I mean, she literally had the potential to be a service dog. But what destroyed that was the fact that, as a puppy, she developed a fear of other dogs, and she would always show that fear by showing aggression. And so that I did not know how to deal with it. And so I did not know how to train her out of that. I ended up having to rehome her. That was the hardest decision but I needed a service dog, and I couldn't wait 10 years, because I so badly wanted to get working again. Now I have Sage, who, I mean, she's got the potential to be a service dog too. And that's hard to find, especially with dogs you find on Craigslist. It's hard to find. My girl, I mean, I was going to use her brother as a service dog too, but he's not necessarily aggressive. He barks a lot. And so I couldn't really use him. I mean, I guess I can train it out of him. so that way I can have 2 service dogs. But I don't know. I mean, like, it's definitely a hard road to go down. I mean, especially if you know that there's certain guidelines or certain like temperaments that they need to have in order to be a service dog. It's really hard, especially when you barely know what you're doing. But I mean, sometimes, I mean, even like in that aspect, it's a hit and miss sometimes. My pups are like 8 months old now. Like, I can take Sage to Walmart and I didn't train her, but I guess her previous owner trained her not to steal food, not to beg. I mean, she begs a little bit, but once it's not given to her, then she just quits and lays down and lays her head down. Her brother, on the other hand, will just steal it. So I'm kind of nervous about doing that kind of thing with him. Until I can figure out how to train him not to do that. But I mean, right now I'm trying to get Sage comfortable being around other people. I'm trying to get her comfortable around the carts. I'm trying to get her comfortable with the leash. For the most part, she's getting pretty comfortable with the leash. I've been doing a few basic obedience training with her. And she's a pretty good dog. For the most part. I mean, she's really good. Honestly, I can't lie. I'm very impressed with her. Her brother, I mean, he's learning a little bit of basic obedience, but I think for him, he might just be an emotional support animal. So basically, he's just gonna stay home. And I think with Sage, I'm gonna probably just get her fixed before going into the full-blown service dog training slash basic obedience. Right now I've been trying to start with the basic obedience. But I mean, she's getting through that and she's learning pretty quick. She's catching on pretty quick.